T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening, one and all. Let me turn the light on so we can get a bit more light. Oh, that's better. That is better. A bit more light in his face. Good evening, one and all. I was just like literally nodding my head to that tune, you know. I love my intro. It's heavy, man. Intro's heavy. Yeah, so good evening to another Red and Blue show, episode 5. I think it's episode 5. I hope it's episode 5. Episode 5, okay.
I got 5 on it. Good song.
You know those ones, isn't it? Oh, seriously. So I'm not sure where now Chelsea OG is at the moment, but he should be sliding into the show very, very soon. Okay, must have just got held up, but he's about. He's going to be about. You know that. But we have got a wonderful guest. Let me do a bit of quick housekeeping first. Just a quick housekeeping. Number one, be respectful in the chat. Be respectful to everybody in the chat. Doesn't matter if you've got a different opinion, be respectful. You know what I mean? Because we're all a family here. It doesn't matter what team you support. You can support Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, whoever. We're all a family, footballing family, and that's the way it is in my group and in my content and all the sort of things. Great. Also, please like and subscribe to the channel. Please like and subscribe to the channel. If you already have subscribed already, please hit up the comment section. Again, be respectful. Also share the content and also turn on the notification button. Please turn on the notification button. Also, when you like, it helps me out a lot. It messes with the algorithm and pushes me up there so I can give you more content like this. Okay, now we got it all done. Red and Blue show. As I said, I'm not really too sure where Naz is in at the moment, but he should be in there soon. But we got like a wonderful guest, Man United supporter. As I said, we're all a family here. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what team you support. We're all a family. And is it Sani?
That is correct. Yeah, Sani.
So Sani, that was it. That guy, the sports guy. Yeah, the sports guy. Sani, the sports guy. We got him in the building. He does some wonderful. I'm telling you, wonderful stuff over on his channel. So after the stream finishes, I would like you guys. He's here. He's here. I would like you guys to like and subscribe to his channel. And here comes Chelsea OG.
Yo, man, sorry for running late.
Brother.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I told Sonny I'll be a bit late because obviously, man.
You know what it is? I'm about to dock your pay, you know.
Oh, no, man. I need this, bro. His name is Sane. It's Sane, like Leroy Sane, but he hates Man City.
You said it properly. I'm not Leroy Sane. I'm not Manchester City Blue Nose.
Jeez. Now you're buying red, bro.
I'd like to formally welcome you to my channel. Formally welcome you, as I said, you to some brilliant stuff over there on your channel and stuff. Before we get into the questions and stuff, you know what I mean? Because this is what we do. Before we get into that, please tell the people about yourself and and what you do. Please tell everybody your platform.
First of all, thank you for the welcome by Uncle Rodz. You might as well call me Nephew Sani at this point because you've got Uncle Rodz in the building. But
yeah, I'm feeling that actually, Nephew Sani. I'm feeling that.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for the invite. Obviously, got CFC OG and Naz, absolute legend as well. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, my name's Sani, that sports guy, massive Man United fan. Cover all things football, of course, Man United as well. I go to a lot of games, vlog them. I go to a lot of games abroad as well. Went to Inter Porto a couple of weeks ago. That was an experience.
I love that, bro.
I cover boxing, cricket, rugby, tennis, everything. I love sports.
Hey, Joshua next week. Our Watford boy AJ. You know he's from Watford as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's down the road.
Listen, Oliver Femi needs to come up with a big KO. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Big fight.
You know what it is, right? Sorry to cut Crossy. Yeah, Auntie Joshua actually gets trained by a guy I used to do boxing with. No, obviously in the same club as me.
Yeah.
Trust me, he was levels above me anyway. Sean Murphy. We used to go to the same boxing club together.
He done an amateur program.
Yeah. He's Sean Murphy was I think he's the same age as my brother, and he's probably in his 50s now, but very good amateur. As I said, Sean Murphy was like twice-time ABA champion at bantamweight. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah.
And he was good enough for it. But he actually trained Anti Drossner at the Finchley Club, London. Yeah.
Big up Watford as well, man. If you're in league championship or whatever, big up.
Yeah, no, big up. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you to Uncle Rodz inviting me on the show. I'm looking forward to this one.
Believe me, you're a good one, man. We'll have you again in the future for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Put it this way, at the end of the day, like obviously, after the show, stay backstage. I'll take some details from you and everything that, and I'll get you my group and that, and everything that we can all be in the group together. So like whenever
a nice panel debate show, it's a bit like a big six show sometimes.
Yeah, so do you know what I mean? So it's like all those sort of things that I would like you to come on still. You know what I mean? But yeah,
I appreciate it. No, I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to be here. We've got a big game to preview. Got a Liverpool fan, got a Chelsea fan. Guess I'm the mediator being the Man United fan. Doesn't make sense, but we'll do it.
I love it.
So how long have you been a Man United supporter?
Well, I am 24 years old. I've been a Man United fan since 6 years old. Ruud van Nistelrooy was my favourite player growing up.
Hey.
He was special. A special player. He was the reason I fell in love with Manchester United. Everyone might think, it's Ronaldo, this, that, whatnot. No, it's Ruud van Nistelrooy. He was a special player.
The horse.
He was a G, you know. He was a G. He was
a top player, and I mean, I've been a Man United fan since. Go to a lot of games as much as I can do. I'm going again actually in a couple of weeks. We've got Everton at home, going to that game. Sevilla
easy win.
I love all these games as well, so you guys can enjoy the show as well. The Fulham game I went to recently was a great game as well.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Craven Cottage?
No, it was at Old Trafford.
Oh yeah. Cool. I was thinking at the end. I was gonna say,
I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a good preview because it's a big game as well for permutations for both seasons for both clubs. It's huge.
Yeah, for you too.
I had Macy on my show. I done a show with Macy one time, and
she covers United, both ladies and the men team. You know her?
Yeah. She's very good. She's very good. She's just got extensive knowledge on like women's football, extensive knowledge on Portuguese football. Obviously, a Man United fan. But we done a preview before the game, before you came to Anfield and everything like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not going to talk about it, but the t-shirt. Anyway, so what it is at the day, we somebody put in the chat that if like you got to pick your favorite player, the best player from she has to pick the best player for Liverpool. That to pick the best player from Man United and everything that, right? That's why you like him and that. She picked Steven Gerrard and everything that, right? She liked Steven Gerrard and she talked about him and everything that, right? Of why, she picked Steven Gerrard. But I picked, who I picked? Yap Stam.
Oh, what a guy. What a player. Oof. Imagine him and Van Dijk in the same team. Woo.
Stop it. No, stop it. No, stop it. That's just
the World Cup.
Listen, that should be. Listen, imagine if that happened. Yeah, That should be against Premiership rules. You know, it should be against it. Seriously. Oh man, nothing's getting through. Yap Sam to me at the day, right, was one of the like. I think he obviously at the day he didn't stay Man United that long. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think if he did stay Man United more longer, he would have definitely gone down as one of the Man United's all-time great footballers. Do you know what I mean? Because he was phenomenal as a defender. He was phenomenal. Anytime Liverpool was playing Man United and Yap Sam was there, I was like, oh, for God's sake. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Why can't he be injured? Do you know what I mean? He was phenomenal.
And I think with Yap Sam as well, if anyone's read Sir Alex Ferguson's autobiography, he actually says in that book that one of his mistakes was letting Yap Sam go, which goes to show who says, talks about his mistakes a lot because, I'm not saying he's infallible, but he is one of the greatest managers of all time. And for him to come out and say something like that in his book, it goes to show what a mistake it actually was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do you remember his other mistake? He said not signing Lampard.
Lampard. I think Gerrard's better anyway, but yeah.
Ravi's got a question here. Question for all. And what are your strengths and weaknesses in your team? I'll come to you first, Sani.
Okay. Sani, yeah. So I think the strength in our team, I'd say, is our defense. Now you might be thinking, it's a bit funny because we guys, we got beat 7-0 by Liverpool. We had that big beating against Brentford so far, and people are going to say, "Oh, but you've conceded more goals this season than you did with Maguire and Lindelof." Agreed, fine, fair enough. But I think the partnership of Martinez and Varane, I think, is a lot more solid than Lindelof and Maguire, in my opinion. I think once we get a solid, choice, be that left back and right back in terms of Shaw playing in form, and even let's say Wan-Bissaka coming into it, I think our defense is going to be the big reason why we do well next season. Obviously, we can talk about Rashford and Casemiro and stuff, but the midfield still needs some more work, in my opinion. And so does the attack.
That is your defense, Casemiro.
No, but in terms of our defense, in terms of, 3 different parts of our side, I'd say defense is our strength. And weakness, I'd say weakness is our attack, because if Rashford doesn't score the goals, who's going to get our goals? Because other than Rashford, I think Bruno maybe. We have no other player in double digits for goals for us this season. So it goes to show, one, our over-reliance on Rashford. And secondly, we let Ronaldo go for obvious reasons. We signed Weghorst as a stopgap. Hasn't really worked out with Weghorst. He presses great. He tries hard. I love it. But at the end of the day, as a striker, you need to get goals, and he just doesn't get enough of them. We know Martial's injury concerns.
You're the first United fan not to rate Weghorst.
He tries hard, but he's not good enough. He's just a stopgap. You can tell that going forward, in the summer, we're going to look to sign a striker. And I mean, on the wing, we have issues on the right wing as well. Some people like Anthony. I think there's, he's still in his first season. You got to give him time, but there's still some glaring issues. He's very readable in terms of what he's going to do. Sancho's come back into our season as well, because he had that break. Hasn't been firing on all cylinders. I was at the Leeds game where he came on second half and he actually played really well. I was like, oh, we might have a player back here, but he's struggled. Like I said, if Rashford doesn't play and score for us, he's going to get the goal for us, and that is really our weakness going forward.
Yeah. So you're saying that your main weaknesses is like the wings or the midfield?
I'd say strikers definitely, and midfield we are lacking another midfielder, because look at us right now. Eriksen's out. Who's controlling the game for us? Absolutely no one. We're getting overrun in midfield. We got overrun in midfield against Fulham. No disrespect to Fulham. They've got some good players like Palhinha, for example. But we should not be getting overrun at home. Fulham in the cup, and the big reason is because we can't control the game. So, yeah, midfield's a big issue for us as well.
Listen, we got overrun by Brighton, man. So I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, we've got them in the cup, so thank you very much. I'm not looking forward to that. That's for sure.
No, but the thing is that what do you think your weaknesses are, Chelsea, in your team?
I think our one's similar to what Sane said, but I'm going to be more specific. Like, obviously, our defense is strong with Thiago's there, and even without him, I'm starting to worry. It's more to do with the middle part, like that middle that connects the beginning to the end. And if we have Kante back and he's proper, well and fit, yeah. Like, obviously, I wish Thiago was there, because that's the spine, isn't it? Thiago, Kante, and it ends right there, because we are terrible in attack as well, man. Like, I'm hoping João Felix is that guy. And I reckon I'll be here saying, oh, João Felix is our guy. But if he didn't get 3-game ban, I reckon he would have scored that Fulham game. He got banned on, then he got sent off. He would have scored in 1 or 2 of the next 3 games as well. And I'll be here telling you, yo, this is our spine. João Felix up there, middle, Kante. So if Kante comes back and stays there, like, I can't consider, but I personally think he is going to get not only another knock, but he's not going to be the same Kante we knew. But he might just get another knock. He was man of the match in a 3-0 game yesterday or the day before. Sorry, 3 days ago. It was behind closed door game. You saw Mason Mount there wearing his t-shirt. Yeah, he was man of the match, played very well. And I thought, okay, maybe he might just be back, and maybe that surgery fixed him. Like, I follow a lot of other sports, man. You know, I watch UFC and boxing, and I know a lot about injuries and surgeries and going to other countries for stem cells and all types of crazy treatments. Yeah, big up, Lloyd, man, big up. And I'm telling you, yeah, if Kante does follow, like, certain fighters, they fix something and it's like it was better than before. If Kante's surgery keeps him from getting that recurrent injury, things just behind the knee on his M's, and he's back to my God Kante, yeah, marathon runner, yeah, pressure you, steal your ball, Mr. Steal Your Ball, yeah. I'm telling you, we might just go somewhere far in the Champions League. Real Madrid is not even the one I'm worried about. I'm worried about the X versus the next, Potter versus Tuchel. You know, that's the one. We're making a video for that, Sunday. If that happens, bro, that's like a movie, bro. that defensive mid area, Zakaria failed. I'm sorry. Like, now we're probably going to try hijack Declan Rice if Kante doesn't plus with flying colours and Kovacic somehow tries to move. I know you guys want to get Kovacic off us. I was like, how dare they?
Who?
Yeah, man, that defense. Man United, bro, they tried to take him, man, on a bargain mid-value. They're like, oh, give us a good deal, mate. Bro, he came third in the World Cup, bro. He beat my beloved Morocco, fam. He's a solid one. So I'm telling you, man, if we have him, Kante, back, fit, staying, we're good. But if we don't, that's where I see that's right now our weakness, because technically Kante hasn't played yet. So right now, this whole season, my weakness is that defensive mid position, bro. You know what I'm saying? If Zakaria never got injured, he might have done something. But sadly, he's worse than Kante, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's up there with your Mello, bro, man. Juventus tricked us. Defensive mid, bro. Fix that up, Chelsea, bro. Fix up the defensive mid. I don't care if it's still Rice. I don't care what you have to do. Juventus tricked us, bro.
Man said he got tricky there. We said he got bamboozled. He got bamboozled by Juve, ain't it? Man said he got hoodwinked. Listen, before I say mine, I'll big up some people in the chat. Big up Amir, big up Lloyd, George G, big up Egyptian King, Indian Scouser,
yes.
Big up King of Animals, King of Animals,
yes.
Big up Ravi and the rest of people in the chat. Liverpool, I think our main weakness is our midfield.
Everything. I'm joking.
Twat. Main weakness is our midfield. I think our midfield and they were lacking the legs in midfield, and I think that the midfield needs major surgery. I think attacking wise, and they we're good. Attacking wise, we're good. We've got the likes of Jota. We've got Gakpo, Nunes, Salah, Luis Diaz is coming back. Do you know what I mean? So our attack is all right. Do you know what I mean? Although I would like to see them get somebody to give Salah competition. Do you know what I mean? Because Salah plays every minute of a game. Because you see what's going to happen now. He's in Egypt. He's played in Egypt. You know, there's a couple of games in Egypt. What's going to happen when he comes back for Saturday game? He will start. He will start for Saturday's game. Do you know what I mean? So it's got to be a situation where we're not playing in so much. Do you know what I mean? So I would like to see somebody to get somebody for that right hand side. Do you know what I mean? Our midfield is letting us down, and the right back. I don't like seeing Trent as right back. I just don't think it works. You know what I mean?
But where would you play Trent? Where would you play Trent? Is he?
I'll play Trent in midfield. I'll play him in midfield. Do you remember? I said this to Macy as well. Do you remember sort of like years ago? You had that player called Antonio Valencia.
Oh yeah. He was a right winger.
Remember him, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now when you not bought him from Wigan, I remember that. When you brought him from Wigan, he was a right wide back. You know what I mean? He's like a wing back. He's a wing back at Wigan. You know what I mean? But you lot played him in midfield. Yeah. And he's like wicked in midfield. He used to set up certain stuff. His pass was gonna and this and that. Do you know what I mean? And plus, he had an eye for goal because he's nearer to goal. Do you know what I mean? I just think at the day you got to play Trent as right back. Not being funny in the day, right? People are talking about Mason Mount and everything, that right? I don't think Mason Mount one of the day, right? No, one of that. I don't think Mason Mount is a bad player. I think he's a good player.
But he's not the
But I
answer.
just think, huh?
He's not the answer.
Nah, but because at the end of the day, his heart's with Chelsea. He loves Chelsea. You know what I mean? It'd be like, all right, it'd be like us trying to take someone like Rashford. Do you know what I mean? You know that's not going to work because Rashford at the end of the day, he's come through the academy and there, yeah, and he's Man United through and through. You know, we know this and everything like that. I think trying to take something like Mason Mount, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work because his heart's with Chelsea. It's just not going to work. But then again, if you put Trent in that position of that, you won't have to get a Mason Mount. Do you know what I mean? So that when you look at our midfield, it is kind of weak because we haven't got no runners in midfield. Do you know what I mean? Their legs have gone. They can put right. They can get you can get games at the day where they pull it off, where they pull off sort of like these kind of like results, like results, like what we did against Man United and certain other things. You know what I mean?
You smashed Napoli as well. You beat Napoli as well, 2-0 now, or 3-0. Yeah.
But to be honest, to be fair, Napoli never do well at Anfield. Napoli never do well at Anfield. But the most that they got, and I think that when they come to Anfield to players, is a draw. They got a draw that time, like 1-1. But they don't usually win at Anfield. And I remember one time, sort of like they was winning 1-0, and then they bought Gerrard, and Gerrard scored a hat trick.
Oh yeah, I remember that game. Oh, so Maradona never played ever against Liverpool back in the day.
I don't think so.
I think at that time, when they could have played, Heysel happened, which meant that the English sides couldn't play in Europe. So
no way, I did not even clock that. Actually, I had to go back to history books.
Liverpool. But actually, I had a question actually for Uncle Rodz. Are you of the opinion that, because there's some Liverpool fans that think this is the case and there's others that don't, but some Liverpool fan think that if you sign Bellingham, it sort of solves your midfield issue. Are you in that camp, or do you think you need major like a few signings in midfield to sort out that midfield?
I'm in the camp at the day, right? Because I think it's pretty unfair to Bellingham to say to Bellingham, look, at the day, right? You're going to come in and the issue's going to be solved. That's unfair. That's unfair to do that. That's unfair to do that to any player.
Yeah.
But you also need some sort of like other players there as well. You need to get other players out. I think the midfield needs major surgery.
Agreed.
We're supposed to be interested in Weghorst. Not Weghorst. Who's that guy from Southampton? Does the free kicks?
Ward-Prowse. Well, you guys need to say as well,
why?
Man.
Why would you go and get Ward-Prowse? I said in the show yesterday, yeah. The only thing about Ward-Prowse is good is a good set piece taker. I don't see anything else that he offers you than that. Can you guys think of anything else he offers you than a good set piece taker?
He's got decent long shots.
Ward-Prowse is a funny one because there's England for me. This is I know we're talking about the Premier League, but the England national team are dying out for a player who can control the game, dictate the tempo, right? A Paul Scholes-esque player in that midfield. Ward-Prowse, I think, if he really was good enough, I think he would get into that England side because they need someone who can control the game, dictate that tempo, right? And I think Ward-Prowse is good, but I don't think he's good enough for England, and that's why I don't think he's had a proper chance, because if he was that good, he'd be at a big club by now, in my opinion. But then again, if Southampton get relegated, someone might actually come in for him, so you never know.
Would you not go for him?
Personally, I wouldn't go near Ward-Prowse, in my opinion, just because I don't know. I just don't think he's cut out for Man United. I know it sounds really harsh because people are going to be like, "Oh, you got Scott McTominay," but Scott McTominay just scored 2 goals against the mighty Spain. So
no way.
Yeah,
I see Terry tweeting about it.
They're winning 2-0 at the moment, and they're about to beat Spain at Hampden Park. So, listen, shout out Scott McTominay. Like I said though, I just think with Ward-Prowse, he's a good, tidy player. I just don't think he's good enough for the big six clubs, in my opinion.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
That's me.
And it's a bit too late. He was good. Like he was this good 4 years ago. It's like why did you know?
Maybe in Everton. I mean, talking like Everton is still like a they're a big club still, Everton, but they weren't the club that they were 5-6 seasons ago. But club of that ilk, maybe a Newcastle. I don't know. Like there is a team out there that will sign Ward-Prowse because he's still a very good player. I just don't think he is part of that elite aspect.
No. I don't think so. So I think because the things about Ward-Prowse, I just think at the day he's very limited to what he can offer you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? His main attribute is his free kicks.
Mm.
You know what I mean? His free kick set piece. That's his main attribute. Yeah. I know he takes long shots and everything, but how many times does he score from those long shots? I can't really. I can probably think of one, and he scored against you lot at Stamford Bridge.
That's why I remembered it. I was like, oh, he scored a long shot against us.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But other than that, he hasn't done it. He hasn't done that against any other team.
No,
He probably
over
won't
the
do it.
years, he's been like a staple guy on Match of the Day. He's always, throughout my memory, he's always scored. It's been like 6 years of him. Like he's been around.
Yeah. The thing is about it, isn't it? If you got a set piece and everything, now there's nobody more that you want, and the day it's a Ward-Prowse to take that set piece. Do you know what I mean? But how many times are you going to get a set piece? How many times are you going to get a penalty? Do you know what I mean? So I think he's very limited to what he can offer you, and I think that, and for him to go to any sort of like top 4 team, because I could, you know what I mean? If he went to Tottenham, and I think that, well, then fair enough. But when you talk about the likes of like Man United, Man City, Arsenal, I put Arsenal in there because Arsenal are top of the table at the moment. Do you know what I mean? And Liverpool and that, yeah, right. Even Chelsea, do you know what I mean, right? When you talk about him going to them teams, then I think that no, I don't think no. He don't offer me anything to say yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you.
I mean, if he's talking about going to Everton or a Villa or
Villa's a good shout. I think Villa's possible.
Yeah, Villa's a good one. They're gonna get Lukaku apparently. Like him and Lukaku, I can see Lukaku just headering goals from his set pieces.
Yeah.
Gomez gonna be a magpie. Newcastle are moving different.
Well, yeah, because apparently Newcastle was supposed to be looking at buying Gomez, and they was looking at Jota as well. They was looking at Jota.
Bro, Lukaku scored as well in the friendly against Germany just now. So I was like, okay, he's actually scored like 4 goals in the last couple of days. Good luck, Villa. Buy him, Villa.
But so you want him back then? Yeah.
Nah, I was like, you know what? The Potter should take him back and make him a prolific scorer and shit on everyone, because that's the only way I'll be like, okay, I just ate a pile of Potter's crap, like the ones put it in my, like that's what I'll do. I'll be like, because Potter, that's what he does. I turn players around. I take emotionally crippled players and addicts and I turn them into super like performance players. Let's see if we can do it with Lukaku, man. Let's see if we can turn the lamppost with cement boots into a machine again, because he was once a machine.
This is a question for you, Sadi.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a very good question. The thing is, I probably would, and the reason I would is 2 reasons. One, I think Ten Hag does like him, and when he does play, granted, he doesn't win a lot of flick-ons, but he tries very hard for the team. And I think if you need to fight on multiple fronts, you need a squad, and he's definitely going to be someone who's willing to run. Because the other reason why I think we're going to have to keep him is because the player that maybe could have been there instead of him, Anthony Martial, he's not going to be here at the club anymore, to be honest with you. He's got injured again. I think he's missed something like 30 games this and last season together. He's not fit. Unfortunately, it's a shame because when he came, there was a special player in him, I think. I mean, Uncle Rodz will remember his first ever goal was against Liverpool when Martin Tyler had to change his pants at after that game because you thought he
I know it, prick.
But at the end of the day, there was a player there, and he had a good season. Yeah. Everyone remembers lockdown Martial. I think he scored like 19 goals in 32 appearances, something stupid like that. But he just didn't really kick on, and because he'll be going. It means we need a striker there. We'll definitely be signing a striker this season. So it means that Weghorst will probably have to stay. So I would keep Weghorst, but of course I would not start him going forward for Manchester United.
Squad player, like a squad player, sort of like.
You need squad players. If you need a squad that can fight, let's say, for the Cups, Champions League next season, and the Premier League, you need players. And Weghorst is someone that will try and die for the shirt, I think. He just tries really hard, which I like.
Yeah. I do like players like that. Do you know what I mean? And they may not have the attributes at the day of all the other top players and everything like that, but what they've got is 100% commitment. Do you know what I mean? I see that in Weghorst too. I mean, I do remember that goal against us when he scored against us, because I mean, what it was, you guys scored first, and then Benteke, he equalised with a bicycle kick, and it was that. And then then about 5 minutes after or something like they brought a Martial, and he just went straight with the other end, and then and he dropped his shoulder and put it in the bottom corner. I said, yeah, man, it's a piece of goal. It was a good goal, but. And then I said, you're right. And we had a couple of games that day where he scored and this and that, but then he stopped. He just stopped and everything. And then it became more inconsistent than consistent. Do you know what I mean? Now, if you say at the day sort of like he's injured again, if next season at the day you Man United want to go for sort of like this and this and this and this, you can't have no people at the day piggybacking on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to get rid of the dead weight. You know what I mean? It might sound harsh enough for now, but you have to get rid of the dead weight, because at the end of the day, you don't win anything with loyalty. You know what I mean? Sometimes at the end, you have to be hard and say, look, you know what, big man, he's not cutting for you anymore. I've given you all the chances and everything that, right? You've got to go, because what will happen if that, right? You keep him, and then what will happen if that? He'll go on a free. Like we got with Keita. Keita's going on the free. Oxlade-Chamberlain's going on the free. I mean, I won't put Fabinho in there, because Firmino in the day he's a good player. You know what I mean? He has scored first, but I just think his situation was different. Like, I think they offered him a contract, and a contract that they offered him the length of time, and I think that he wanted more. So that I think they only offered him a 2-year, and he wanted like a 3 or 4 year, and I think that. So you know what I mean? They couldn't come to an understanding. So he just said, look, you know what? I'll go at the end of the season. So there's no animosity, so there's no argument, no animosity. And he will still go down as one of our old-time special players. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? But when you got a player like, as you said, like your Martial and I think that, and it's like kind of like constantly getting injured and then, you know, it's just, after a while you just think, we can't do this anymore. You know what I mean? I've given you all the chances.
Exactly my point. The thing is, like, he comes back, plays a few games, gets injured. I don't think he's ever really had a period, bar the lockdown season, where I've actually sat back and thought, oh my God, we've got a really good player on our hands. He's shown glimpses and he's got a lot of talent, but it's only so much unless you don't apply it. A great player that we had for ages, Paul Pogba, amazing talent, just didn't show it enough. And he had to go. By the sounds of it at Juve, I don't think he's having the best time there as well. So it's all great having this talent, but if you don't apply it, I'm pretty sure there's a quote that goes like, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard enough or something. And that's exactly the case with Martial. He still doesn't work hard enough, and that's exactly what's happened for him at Manchester United. It just hasn't worked out.
And he has sometimes say, and I always say in everything now, if you're a team, I mean, let's face it, in the day, sort of like when it comes to Liverpool and Man United and everything that, obviously no disrespect to OG down there. I mean, but when it comes to Liverpool and Man United, and we are the most successful British teams. You know what I mean? Two of us at the day, we've done bits and are they like
for now?
Liverpool, huh?
Yeah, for now.
For all time, all time, my friend.
Only 30 more trophies to go.
You know what it is at the day. You know, you've
25
got
trophies in the like 30 trophies in the last 25 years. Give us another 25 years, man.
You know what it is at the day, yeah. You know when you got like the original woman, then you got the modern woman, and for now, people prefer the original woman. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Just a modern woman.
But it's true. That is a good analogy, and I like older women, so that's perfect for me.
Yeah, there you go, my friend. Get in there, son. Get in there. No, but all joking aside, I think the things that what Liverpool, Man United done, I think that it's just phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? obviously you guys at the day with the treble, when you done the treble, that would always go down in history. If you go back late 70s, early 80s, you know what I mean? We won the European Cup back to back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, it's just that the trophies won in Europe and league and stuff like that. That's put us at the elite stage when it's come to sort of like British football and everything like that. When I was growing up, people weren't talking about Arsenal and all them teams there. They certainly weren't talking about Man City. They weren't talking about.
League free.
No, seriously, I'm telling you, when I was growing up and everything that, you was either a Liverpool supporter or Man United supporter. That's what it was. I mean, Leeds was obviously round about there because Leeds at that time was doing bits and everything that, right? I'm going back some time, yeah. But you was either, if you ask people, what team you support? Liverpool. What team you support? Man United. It was either Liverpool or Man United because, you know, we got the heritage. But like, so I think in the day, so like when you're of that prestige and everything that, right, you can't have passengers.
Yeah.
And I think people like your Cater, people like your Martial, they become passengers after a while. You know what I mean? And it does your team more harm than it does good. Do you understand what I'm getting at? You know? And these players, it's like Lukaku. It's like Lukaku, the thing. Lukaku at the moment of the day is doing Chelsea more harm than what he's good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because he's a passenger. You know what I mean? He's going to come back to Chelsea and everything. What are you going to do with him?
No, but he's the worst type of passenger. You know when you're driving and they're in the back seats telling you everything. A backseat driver. He's talking, bro. This guy's talking the talk. Like, I'm like, bro, stop talking. Like, if you'll be a passenger, shut up then. Like, come on, man. This guy.
It's true. He can't have that. So he can't have that. So that's what I'm trying to say. You know, in order to make your team better, you have to get rid of these passengers and everything. Now, right now, and they, you know, we've got at least 2 passengers at the day.
You got a bus full. Oh, okay. Just two.
Yeah, we ain't got no bus full of passengers, man.
That's us.
Listen, there's 12 of you in this chat right now. Please hit the like button. It only takes a second to hit the like button, okay? It takes a second, you know what I mean? You know, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe as well. You know what I mean? We've got a wonderful guest in the building, man. We've got a wonderful guest in the building. You know, very good. I've seen his stuff and everything that. Very good, you know what I mean? So what makes Man United better for next year? What makes them better? What makes them the shit? What makes them everything? You know what I mean? Next year.
Wait. Before that, yeah. Flipping, I see down in the comments, I'll talk about the takeover. I was like, you might as well bring that up within this because that's part of your next year, I guess.
Yeah. I'll bring that up after this question. I'll bring it up.
3 points.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, the answer to that does depend on that takeover, but I'm just going to go, let's say, for example, it's happened. 3 major signings we need. Striker. We are dying for a striker. Goal scorer, someone who creates chances. We are dying for that striker. Since Ronaldo left especially, because whether people like to admit it or not, Ronaldo was very good for us last season. He got us goals, but his age was a factor. He was old. He was never going to be there for 5 years. We need someone who's going to be there long term. So there's 2 options. There's either a Kane, there's 3 options. There's a Kane, there's an Osimhen, or there's a Goncalo Ramos. Kane really fine, great player, Premier League proven. But I don't think he has enough years in him, in my opinion, for us to sign him, especially for the money that Spurs will demand. So an Osimhen or Goncalo Ramos, I wouldn't mind. Personally, I'd go with Osimhen. I think he's an absolute quality player. He'd provide a lot for us going forward. That's the first player. Second position that we need to fix, in my opinion, and this might come as a shock to a lot of people, but it's goalkeeper. You're going to be like, my God, De Gea. But for those of you that are in the chat watching the stream, I want you to check De Gea's save percentage over the last couple of seasons. He hasn't been in the top 10 since the 1920 season. Now, for someone who gets deemed as a great shot stopper, he was, and that's the key word, he was a great shot stopper. But I don't think he is anymore. Against Liverpool, that dreaded 7-0 Liverpool game, Liverpool's XG expected goals was 2.6. But we conceded 7 goals. Fine, granted, De Gea wasn't always part to blame for the goals. But it does go to show that their XG was 2.6, but we conceded 7. It's clearly a disconnect. We all know what he's like claiming crosses, not the best. But distribution is the big reason why I think we'll be looking to sign a new keeper. He kicks the ball long 12.6 times this season. Seasons gone by, it was 9 times. Even though Ten Hag, as you know, likes to play it from the back, if a keeper's kicking it long more, then it shows he has no confidence with his feet. He kicks it less to the fullbacks than he did in last season as well. So clearly he's not confident with his feet. And whenever we play at home, he always invites pressure because he doesn't know how to distribute with his feet. And that's the big reason why I think Ten Hag needs to look at the keeper. So there's goalkeeper. And finally, I think the final position that we need to look at is midfield. And I'll tell you why. Casemiro, fantastic signing for us. Amazing signing, experience, leadership, whatever you want to call it. World-class player. Cool. We signed Ericsson on a free transfer. Cool. But the real reason why we signed him is because the target we wanted, we didn't get, and that was Frankie de Jong. Because Frankie de Jong is a deep-line playmaker, which suits Ten Hag's style of play perfectly.
Yeah.
Do we get
That's his son.
Yeah. Do we get Frankie de Jong? I don't think so.
They're desperate.
True, but they're probably going to keep Gavi as well, and they need players, especially next season, where I think Barca, I'm not saying they're going to win the Champions League, but they're going to be going gung-ho, especially after winning La Liga this season, which I think they will.
I don't believe it, man.
Personally, I love to go for a player like Barella. He can play deep line playmaker, and he's very progressive from midfield. And I think with Inter Milan and their financial difficulties, I think we could get Barella. But listen, I'm not playing on FIFA career mode, so a lot of these signings probably won't even happen, especially with this takeover that we're going to talk about in a few moments' time. But those 3 positions, striker, goalkeeper, and midfielder, is where Manchester United need to fix up before we can say Man United are back in the words of Rio Ferdinand.
Right, let me read out some of his comments now. NS Sport TV, big up yourself, big up. Is that a friend of yours, my friend?
It's that brother, Nippon, the one you had the running in. We'll get him on next week or the week after.
Oh, yeah,
we'll sort out.
Well, big up yourself, big up yourself, big up yourself.
Next one, the one after, bro.
Next one, brother. I'll bring you in. Don't worry. You know this panel is. Was it enough?
Enough.
Yeah,
big up, man. You know it is.
You know that, brother. We always come to give you sort of like good guests and good talking
every
points.
week, bro. We get a bag. It's like it gets better every week, bro. 42 minutes went like that now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yapstam sick. Yeah, he was. He's a phenomenal player. Phenomenal player. You know, even when we played AC Milan in the Champions League final, and Yapstam was there, I said, not a fucking again. I was like that, not again.
That's what you probably said at half time, and then
exactly.
Miracle happened.
Oh mate. But he's a phenomenal player. Is he coaching at the moment?
I believe
he was
so.
At Reading, but I think he got sacked at Reading. I think he's gone back to Manchester United, but I might be wrong on that. I know he's somewhere in Holland. He was at Feyenoord for a bit. He was an assistant coach there. But he might have gone to America for a bit, but yeah, I think he's out. I don't think
he'll be back.
Yeah. I don't think he's coaching at the moment.
I tell you what, Van Nistelrooy's doing well at PSV. I know, really.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, like when I saw that they got Arsenal, I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably watching this game only because Van Nistelrooy was manager. But yeah, he's doing all right at the moment, which is good to see.
Yeah. Ensman for the Ensman TV. Big up yourself. Ensman TV. Banging channel, yes. That's my good. He's a good friend of mine. He's a friend of the channel and a good friend of mine. Please go over and slap a like and subscribe to his channel, Ensman TV. He says big up. He said big up the chat. Chat as well. Big up Rodz, he says, well, big up to you, my friend. Good friend of mine. Amir's got a question for me, actually. Would you take was it Ivan Dicko on a free? Yeah, I'll take him on a free. I think he'd be a valuable player to the squad. You know what I mean? Because what is it today? I think not only do we need sort of like to fix the midfield, obviously, you know, for the players, but I think we need squad depth as well. I think that's one thing that I haven't really got as such. We need squad depth. And I think when you're going for sort of like multiple trophies in there, because obviously in the English league in the day, right, we play for the most honors. You know what I mean? In Germany, it's literally in the league, German Cup, Champions League, or UEFA Cup if you're in the UEFA Cup. You know what I mean? That's all it is. But we have got we literally at the end of the day, we've got the League Cup. You know what I mean? We've got FA Cup.
Yeah.
we got our league, and if you're in the Champions League or like UEFA Cup, so we've got like 4 fronts to sort of like fight on. So you do really need squad depth for that. Do you know what I mean? So I think I will take him. I'll take Dico. Dico, I'll take him. Trust me, I'll take him.
The Premier League is like 2 leagues, man. It's so competitive, bro.
Yeah. Yes, Enzi, good. That's coming from Lloyd. Big up Lloyd. Egyptian King says, what has happened to Spain? Playing like dog shit.
Morocco broke them, fam. We broke them when we beat them in the World Cup.
Yeah, you went dealt with them. Ends with Lloyd. He tells Lloyd to big up, bro. Good, just here chilling. And Mayor says, big up ends. And says, big up Chelsea OG.
Big up, bro. I'll see you soon, man. We've got a game in 2-3 weeks or whatever.
Yeah. Amir says, he says to Amir, you good? And big him up. Baz, this is our friend Baz.
This guy's a banging Liverpool fan, bro. You got to hook up with him one time, Sané. Proper joker.
Yeah. He's a lovely guy. He's a lovely guy. He just I think it'd be a while before he starts doing these streams.
He's
not so long come out of hospital and that.
Get better, my bro, man.
Yeah, but lovely guy, banging guy there. So big up Baz, LVFC TV. Please go over there and drop a like and subscribe to his channel, show him some support, and obviously getting through this rough time he's going through at the moment still. But yeah, big up still. Baz, big up. What's it? One of our friends at the from the group, United Spurs of America. Yeah, big up. Yeah, he's a nice guy, lovely guy, man. Ravi says, "Ends big up, bro." So basically, let's talk about this takeover that's going on with your club. Let's talk about this takeover.
It started with you guys, remember that? And we just finished our takeover. The Qatar started with you, man.
Yeah, they did.
You went to him.
That's it. I can't really talk about our takeover because it was there 1 minute and gone the next. You know what I mean?
It should be illegal, bro. Your stocks went up for a hot minute.
Telling you, man, it's peak around there. But what I'm saying, with Man United, sometimes I look at the situation with Man United. I think sometimes it's on. I think sometimes then it looks like it's not on. What's your feelings overall about this takeover business?
I don't know. Like I'm in the camp that I don't get carried away until I've actually seen an official kind of confirmation that listen, there's the wheels are in motion sort of thing. These bids and it's like it's like everyone's on Tinder at the moment with Manchester United. It's like, yeah, we're interested. We want to swipe right. We want to set up a date, but it's not really happening because they're not really responsive. The Glazers, they just want to stay at the club because they know it's easy money, right? They can reap their dividends, etc. And then the issue with the bids, there's 2 issues. Ratcliffe, for example, he's got the issue that he's trying to buy the club with a bit of debt. As we know, the Glazers were bought with debt, and the problem with leveraging debt is that going forward, it's not good for the club, especially having high gearing. And I know this is not a finance episode, but if you guys want to learn more about these terms, I implore you to check out gearing. Having a high gearing is not good because it's hard to repay your debts, which means that going forward, it's not very sustainable. Yes, it's a football club, but the thing is, it's a football club, not a business. You want to treat it like a football club, which means investment's needed. And Ratcliffe, I don't know if he would be the right guy. I know he owns a club in France as well, where the fans aren't happy with how he is there. The problem with the Qataris, I don't think there is really a problem with Qataris, but the media will have you having the idea of sport washing going, and people weren't happy, especially the media in this country, with Newcastle being bought by the Saudis. They won't be best pleased when the Qataris try and buy Man United as well. I'd love it if the Qataris came in, just because I think they'd invest where the club needs it. So the stadium, the training ground, but of course the squad. But the one thing I would say is if we do sign the Qataris, a lot of us Man United fans that gave Manchester City a lot of stick for when this Abu Dhabi came into Manchester City, we can't really get onto them if we did have the Qataris in town, that's for sure. But yeah, to answer your question in a long-winded way, Uncle Rodz, I'm still cautious because the Glazers could easily do a U-turn and be like, bids aren't good enough.
No, but that would be illegal at this stage. The way the stocks have shot up, that would be some kind of. Elon Musk was in the flipping Senate the other day just to answer for this kind of stuff. What have you voted on any of these online polls? I've bumped into about 7 or 8 from Twitter to YouTube. Have you voted on any of these Qatar takeover? Who do you want to take over?
I would love it if they came in, and the fans would love Qatar. Like
it's like 90%. It's like 90% Qatar, like 10% Ratcliffe.
If you like Nana said, if you ask any fans at Old Trafford, you ask any fans on streams, social media, in person, they always say Qatar because that would be the most lucrative offer to bring Manchester United back where it belongs, which is back at the top of world football, right? But there's a lot of issues, and I saw there was an offer that the Glazers said something like they want a stadium built in Qatar for NFL games or something stupid like that, or an NFL team. It's just like these petulant demands that they want. I think it's a long process. There's a long process. I mean, Naz will know with Todd Bowley and Abramovich and the Chelsea sign ownership change. It lasted a long time, and I think this one will probably be. We'll see something in the summer. I think nothing's going to happen mid-season.
You know who I blame? It's that Ryan group. That Ryan group.
Yeah.
I don't trust them. I do not trust them. Like, these guys play games, yeah. And to be honest, I thought the Qatars would have been. I thought they would have found some BS law of conflict of interest across European. I don't know, some BS law, and be like, they can't do it, because I thought they want to back their guys who are Americans and British. Like, but it seems like British government is like, yeah, cool. You know what? Let them buy this. Let them spend their money, invest it into the UK. And I haven't found any. I've been looking, I've been scouring for the news for them, some kind of law break. It seems like everything's fine, to the degree where PSG and Disbre, they want to make another club, Braga, sponsor them just to big players for your clubs. I was like, bro, he's literally talking. It's like they're cousins or something. So I'm shocked that this bid's getting accepted. So you man are lucky in that term. I'm so shocked it's easy going through to where he's at the final 2 or 3 apparently. Apparently there's a third hidden horse. Do you hear about that?
Yeah, the unicorn. I don't know who this unicorn is, but we're not in Harry Potter.
Unicorn there. That's a unicorn there. You know what it is though, right? I think at the end of the day, sort of like you can never trust these Americans, sort of like, because they'll lull you into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
Make you think at the end of the day, well, look, this is going to happen. And when this happens, and I've had all these other good things going to happen with it. And for them to actually make a U-turn and say, nah, we're not selling now, which they weren't going to sell in the first place. You know what I mean? They're just trying to sort of like play with man. You know what I mean? In that sort of way. You get me? Because we had the same kind of thing with our club, and I think that, right? There was stuff coming out in the day that we're going to do this person's interested, blah, 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 and this and that, right? For them to say, well, no, we're not selling. You know what I mean? Now, there were sections of the fan, the fan group that was saying, well, FSG never come out and said they're going to sell. But my rebuttal to that is that they knew that was the rumor. They knew that was what was being said by the media. So if it wasn't going to happen, why didn't you go to come out and say, nah, we're not selling? Why would you keep quiet and everything that, right? And then at the 11th hour, you say, well, no, it's not happening. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. If somebody's spreading a rumor about you and everything that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a very negative rumor. You'll probably come out and say, nah, man, it don't go like that. I didn't do this and didn't do that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So this is like, if people are thinking that they will look, this was created by the media, and then why didn't they come out and say that's all lies? It's all lies, and in fact, we're not selling.
Because it doesn't hurt their stock prices, man. Flipping Americans, bro, man, playing us.
But the thing is about it, the reason why these Americans weren't selling for that, because they think of these clubs like, as I said, it goes back to what I'm saying before. Liverpool and Man United have got this extensive history, and the history that they've got, and I think it's good. It's hardly bad. It's good, and everything that, right? Yeah. And they know that club is a cash cow for them. It is a cash cow. Do you know what I mean? They get pretty rich off of like the club. I know FSG have. I know the Glazers have, and I think that. Do you understand what I'm getting at? So why would you want to sell something in the day that's bringing you in money? Because you got to remember the day, when it comes to Americans and I think that they're capitalists. They're all about that money. That's what it's all about that money, isn't that? So they're not going to get rid of something in the day that's bringing them extensive wealth. They're toying with us and make it feel like it, and they will look, yeah, we're going to do this and do that, because they know it, and that's what we want. We want to see them. We want to see our club and they handled by people and they that sort of like got a general love for football. Because make no mistake, these Americans don't really like football to that. They don't know anything about it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. To be honest, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but they haven't really got extensive knowledge.
They don't get it. They don't get it, do they?
They don't get it. Because name me one really successful footballer. Really successful footballer like you put in the realms of like your Van Nistelrooy or like your Gerald and anything like that. There's none. You know what I mean? There is none. So like really, they don't really get it to that. But we know at the end of the day, these Saudis and these Qatar people, they get football because they live and breathe football. Make no mistake, they live and breathe it. They will be at home in effect. They'll be watching every league possible. They get it. Do you know what I mean? So they know at the end of the day we will love.
Are just full of football 24/7. That's all the cafes are full of. On all of Arabia, like, I've been to these 5 Arab countries. Every single one of them, they just digest football all the time. Football news in between, all that. Look, Rodz, Sane's actually got a cut in like 5 minutes. Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Let me find another little cheeky question for him.
Yeah, this one.
Cool. There we go. Straight away.
Oh,
yeah. This.
Yeah, you could go first, and you probably want to sign out with that one, man. But take your time and tackle this question. The season's not over. You're still in a lot of competition.
Who are the expectations for the rest of the season? I'll let you answer this because I know you got a cut in a bit, my friend. So I'll let you answer this.
Okay, no, thank you for that. And it's a good question by Lloyd, actually. So shout out to Lloyd. As you guys know, we're in the Europa League, we're in the FA Cup, we're in the Premier League. We've got the Carabao Cup under our belt, FA Cup semi-finals, quarterfinals of the Europa League. We're currently third in the Premier League. These are my expectations. For the Premier League, we must make third. Yes, top 4 is key, but we need to end the season on a high. I know we've got Newcastle on the 2nd of April. It's a huge game. Behind us, we're level on games. So it's a massive game. That needs to be a game we cannot lose. If we lose that game, then the battle for fourth is going to get really interesting because we've still got the likes of Chelsea to play at home, Spurs away, some tough games, Brighton away. That's never going to be an easy game.
Yeah.
So third is what I'm expecting, but a lot of it does depend on that first game against Newcastle. If we come out of that game with at least a point, I think we'll be okay. FA Cup, this is really interesting. Brighton in the semi-finals. Brighton are a very good side. De Zerbi's got them playing beautiful football. They've got very good players, the likes of Matoma. And I think it's a FA Cup semi. The magic of the cup, anything can happen. But I think we'll come out of that. And then, of course, the likelihood is we'll play Manchester City in the final. Tough game. Tough game. At Wembley, a lot of it does depend on where Manchester City are when it comes to the Champions League. Are they going to have one eye on resting their players for that potential final? Should they get there? I don't think they're going to get there, but we'll see.
Tuchel has Pep's number.
He does. And even getting past, even let's say he gets past Bayern Munich, Real Madrid or Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
Tough game. FA Cup, I don't think we'll personally win the FA Cup just because I think Manchester City are a better side than us. In an FA Cup one-off game, you never know. I'd love it if we make the final. That'd be great. Europa League. Interesting. This is where things get interesting. As we know, Sevilla have not had a very good season in La Liga. They're flirting with relegation. However, the Europa League to Sevilla is what the Champions League is to Real Madrid. They own the Europa League. They've won it the most. They've three-peated it. When it comes to the Europa League, they just love to play in it. Granted, we are the favourites going into that tie. But for Man United fans tuning in, I would say do be wary of Sevilla because regardless of how they are in the league, it's still their competition this Europa League. I still think we'll progress, but it'll be a hard game. The semi-finals are where things get interesting because should we progress, we'll either face Arsenal's killers, Sporting, or Juventus. Now, we all know what's happened to Juventus this season. They had that scandal. They lost, obviously, a lot of points as a result of that points deduction. But Juve in Europe, you never want to play them because it's just a very dogged side, very defensive. They'll play for that result, and they'll try and get a result. Do we get past that? I think we'll have enough. But then that's where the final comes in. And it's likely that Jose Mourinho's Roma might meet us in the final. And can you
Go on,
imagine
That's
Mourinho.
wicked in there.
Jose Mourinho in the final versus Manchester United?
Oh,
So personally, to end it, I think we'll finish third. I think we'll face Manchester City in the FA Cup final. Anything goes. And as for the Europa League, I have a feeling we're going to get knocked out in the semi-finals. I don't know why. I've just got a really bad feeling.
what? I thought you could say you win it.
No, I don't think we'll win it. I think Europa League semi-finals. I think we'll have a lot of fixtures at that point. And I think we'll make the semis, but it'll still be a very good season for us regardless. So bring it on.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Who
That was
do
sick.
you think wins? Who do you think wins the league this year? Before you go,
Before I go, I'm a Man United fan,
Hey.
so regardless of what people think about Arsenal fans and how they get overjoyed, I don't want Manchester City three-peating. I do not want Manchester City three-peating, regardless. In terms of rivalry, Uncle Rodz will know this. Liverpool's always been our biggest rivals. Second is Manchester City now. Arsenal did have that patch when Wenger and Ferguson were going back and forth, but Manchester City's our biggest rivals. Why would I want City to win the league just to stop Arsenal's fans from gloating? I'll take it. I'd rather Arsenal win the league. And I think Arsenal will win the league. 8 points clear. But what I will say for Arsenal fans is the 2011-12 season, when you guys get a chance, review that season. See how many points we were ahead of Manchester City at a point. We drew to Everton at home, 4-4. We were 4-2 up. We bottled it. Then we lost to Wigan away. We opened the door for Manchester City to come in. They beat us at the Etihad with that company header. Then we all know what happened in the final day of the season. So I will say,
yeah.
although I do think you'll win the league, be wary that these leads can be dropped. That's the league, and I think Uncle Rodz is probably going to ask me about the Champions League. This is open. I think it'll be a Chelsea-Napoli final.
Wow.
No, really?
Yeah, I think it'll be Chelsea-Napoli final.
We're gonna clip it. If that happens, I'm coming back to this video.
I think Chelsea are going to make the Champions League final, and I think it's going to be Napoli in the other side.
Okay, I hear
That
that.
happens,
Listen, I'll give you a shout on Instagram. I'll give you a shout on Instagram, my friend. And listen, thank you for coming on. I'm gonna get you back on one of my shows again because I think you're an amazing guest.
Appreciate it.
And it's been a pleasure chopping up with you. So I'll shout you on Instagram, and we'll sort out something and think that. And yeah, I'll give you a shout on Instagram. Thank you for coming on, my friend. Thank you very, very much for coming on this show. And God bless you, man. You take care of yourself.
Yeah, sounds good. Take care, guys. Make sure to smash a like. Make sure to subscribe to Uncle Rodz. Shout out to Naz as well, and shout out to Uncle Rodz. And hopefully see you guys soon.
Okay, guys. Please, so quick. I'm sorry, I forgot my manners. Please shout out your channel quick before you go. You shout out your channel, please.
Sure. So, channel on YouTube is Sani-that sports guy. I'm on Instagram as well, Sani_that sports guy. There's always daily content that I'm producing. So, you guys get a chance, check it out. You will not be disappointed.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking, he does WWE.
You can smell what The Rock is cooking.
He's out big out, man.
Yeah, he's lovely guy, man. Lovely guy.
Especially considering he's a United fan. Jeez, man.
Lovely guest, man. Ravi says, yo, Shaq. Big up, lads. Big up. Hope you've hit the subscribe button, and for that, make sure you hit the subscribe button before you leave and hit the like button. We get round with a question for Sani. Thoughts on how United great chance.
Did he even answer this one? His answer was Victor Osimhen or Kane.
Yeah, it wasn't it. Big up Ravi. Come from LVFC TV. LVFC said, get the likes up, guys. How much likes am on? Let me see how much likes I'm on now. Because it was a 33 last time.
Jeez. Nice.
35. That's all right. That's nice. Man. I like you guys to get up to 40, but that's nice still. Big up Baz. Big up Rav. Ravi says, question for OG. How long do you persist with as a 9?
Well, I reckon it's going to be till the end of the season, the way things are going, you know. In the Chelsea camp, we usually say he starts off a bit late, you know, so let's see what happens. I think Havertz is going to stay there. He's going to get less VAR decisions against him. He's going to get less hit in the crossbar. We've hit the crossbar the most ever. Any Chelsea team has ever hit the crossbar and the woodwork in general. So if we could just get past that little gap, I reckon him and Jarfield will start getting more goals, man. He's been playing all right. He's got unlucky a bit. But yeah, man, he's only a second half season player anyway. But no Red supporters say signing Jude will solve our midfield. But adding Jude majorly fortifies the work engine of our team at Anfield Rodz. That's facts. And I even think you guys should get Casado. Casado's been a thorn in your side like 3 times this season, bro. My man's always finding you. So you might as well buy him. I love it.
Yeah, pick up.
This plays good against them. They're like, nah, this player played good against us. F that. Well, that's how we brought Salah. Like, you know the ones. That's why right now brought Ronaldo. Like, this player just terrorized us.
I know, it's heavy. Big up Liverpool 12th man, innit? Big up yourself all the way from America. Big up. Georgie said De Jong for 120 mil. Yes or no?
He said he wanted De Jong no matter what. I'll take De Jong for 120 mil. You'll take De Jong for 120 mil.
Yeah. This King of Animals, you know. NIFC, I think I'm in Newcastle, I think, you know. Question for all is James Maddison good enough for the top 6 team? I don't think so. He's not. You know what it is?
Somewhere. I thought at least in January, when Leicester were dead in January, I thought maybe then he'll leave. I'm so shocked he stayed.
I don't think. Yeah, he the thing is that he's a bit too injury prone for me. I don't get his ability wise. I like him, but he's injury prone, too injury prone for me. Was it? The Added Time podcast.
Yeah, he's from Peru. Yeah, I think
this guy here.
Yeah, he's Morocco. He's from America, but he's Peruvian. Like from London, I'm Moroccan. Morocco's playing Peru right now. It's still 0-0, 70th minute. Let's see who can win that. Big up JP, bro. We're gonna beat you today.
So the Added Time podcast says a big up the panel, big up to you, my friend. Baz says to
be frank,
to be honest, we don't really have anyone that's good with free kicks. Just Trent. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
Well,
that is fact. Level 12 man says 17 goals from free kicks over 11 season is gassing up a talented player for a transfer to bring something that really happens as short-minded.
You ripped them already, man. You ripped into World Class already, Rob.
Yeah. Question for OG: thoughts on Koulibaly and Cucurella? Are they good enough long term?
With Koulibaly, he needs to flip in. I don't know, maybe he needs to just adapt next season and not age. But Cucurella, I feel like over time he will come through. OG, you want Potter in? Of course not. No, I don't know who not wants Potter in. I know one guy that wants Potter in. He won't show his face. Game over. That's what Potter is. Game over, bro.
Snoopy Triple G says text green game over. So Callum, you sound like, I think you're new actually. He's got his name in there, Callum. Afro Fund, I ain't seen this man for time, you know. Who's your lot's team will win the Premier League first?
Obviously Sana would have probably said him. I don't know. I reckon will be at least 3 seasons before we see if we challenge that. That's gonna be a decade by the time we win it. How about you, man? You said next season possibility.
I don't know about that.
You don't think Liverpool a 5-year plan?
I think about 3 seasons. About 3 seasons to be 3 seasons, I reckon. If we get it right, that is. If it's someone we get it right, 3 seasons. I mean,
all right, that's realistic.
James, so big up Uncle Rodz. Shout out to the panel too. Big up Snoop Triple G. Talk about the takeover. We just done that.
We did, man.
Yeah. We have a question for all 3. Did you expect your club to be where they are this season? I'll let you take that first.
Of course not, man. I like even my wildest dreams was like 7th or 8th, like but 10th. And not even like 10th and 1 win away. We're like 10th and like 3 wins away and hoping everyone loses above us just to get back to 7th. It's a mad one. I didn't think this
Fuck,
would happen. Honestly.
it's fucking, isn't it?
Can't
Listen,
believe
I
it.
didn't.
You're,
You know
you're
what?
obviously shell shocked. You're the same club as me. You didn't think you'll be whatever. Like you could be 6
No,
or 8
no,
as well, man. Or the next
no.
week or
You
whatever.
know what? You know what it is after the season we had last season, yeah. We done last season to be where we are now, and everything. I did not expect that at all. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought for us, do you know what I mean? This is poor. Do you know what I mean? Now we're struggling to get top 4. So
Talk
yeah,
about it, mate. Talk about it, man. We're all in that.
yeah,
Hey, big up Luca, man. Proper good Arsenal channel, man. Give him a little sub as well, man. Cool Arsenal guy.
yeah, man. Yeah, I'll do that. I think I have some to his channel. I think. I'm sure I
Okay,
have.
you have.
I'll
Yeah,
check.
yeah.
I'll
You
check.
might even chat sub to him, man. It's cool. He's actually good for an Arsenal fan. Rare.
No, I'm gonna get him on there soon. I'm gonna get him on there soon.
Oh, come. Yeah, yeah. I know him as well. I'll get him on. It's casual. Okay,
Anfield Uncle Roz, someone has something playing in the background. Just heads up. I don't know who that was. Is that you? Were you playing in the background, G?
no, I don't. That's it, man. I'm not even on about the music life no more, brother.
King of
Barca are
Animals
done,
said,
you know.
Bath are done.
Facts, man. I can't believe Sanai said Barca will be back next season, good in the Champions League. I was like, they're done, man.
Question for all three: who signs Victor Osimhen?
I could
who do you
answer that
think?
for Sanai just because I talked to him in the group quite a bit, and he really thinks that they're going to get him with the Qatar takeover. That's going to be their first marquee signing, like big boy. I'm like, nah, Chelsea, all we need is a striker. We're going to put most of our money towards that striker. Like, that's it. After that, we don't really care. We don't want anyone else, really. Like, you man still want 1, 2, 3, the goalkeeper, the midfielder, the defender, another striker. You know what I'm saying? So I reckon we're going to get him. I don't even know if Liverpool will ever, like, FSG don't want to spend another one on a striker.
We don't need him though. We don't really
Yeah,
need him. We
man.
got
Nunez, Jota, you man's are blessed, man.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
King
King of
of
Animals accused of me because he loves Drogba. There's a video saying, I can't wait to meet Drogba. I'm like, well, you could only meet him if you come to Chelsea, mate. Oi.
Man's gassy around here, you know. Question thoughts on teams getting exposed for FFP. You mans have done it all right still, because you mans at the day just said like, you know what, you beat the FFP thing, isn't it?
Well, no, yeah, there's a whole list today of players that are getting sold, and it was like crazy long. Like 14 players on that list. Hudson-Odoi was there. Gallagher's possibility. They don't know by how much they'll get for money-wise. I was like, oh, we can get up to like 280 million or minimum. They're saying, what if we sold all of them on a fire sale, we get 220 million. So I was like, I'm not really worried about that. And that's not even including all the loans. Chelsea, you know, with the loan, geez, like we had a WhatsApp group with 30 players that are on loan. You know, we always have players on loan. They made the new law because of us. And Man City, they now can only put 7 players on loan, and they're going to reduce it till it gets to like 5 players on loan. So that's going to go. But right now, we're still doing that. We're making money from that.
You managed to do that a lot, though, innit?
Bro, we had a WhatsApp group of 30 players. Like, that's crazy. All on loan.
Face
I don't even know. Some kind of emoji poop shape. Let's just say that's Brazil. That's Fosha's colours Barcelona. Barcelona poop, bro. That's I agree. More like grinder. What? What are you talking about, bro? That's a gay dating that, bro.
Yeah, I know, innit? Big up for Luca. Luca says, gonna be live tomorrow 9 o'clock. You 20 was it? You 20 people here, yeah, man, yeah. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 9 o'clock. That'll probably be after
his notifications on.
Yeah, that'll probably be after my show, because I'm gonna do a show tomorrow, like the weekend football prediction and from that. I might start at 7:30 so I can finish about 9 and that. You know what I mean? So I can tune to man's show still. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, tune into your show tomorrow still. Now, how are you? Good.
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good, bro.
Craig Richardson, big up yourself. Craig Richardson is a Nottingham Forest fan. I think I spoke to him before.
2-star club, 2-star club.
Yeah. Where was it? Where's Cal? Lots of love. He's missing again.
It comes on ends, man. Thing. Cool. Next time, you owe us, bro. You have to come.
Who?
Your boy Cal was supposed to come on today, no?
Oh no. I spoke to him. Remember he said he's not sure. He's not sure and think that because of like
Yeah, he'll
he
be
has to
in the
do something
future,
with his
man.
mum.
He'll be in the future.
No, but no, he's gonna be. You know the next show I've got, Cal's gonna be on there. We sorted out
Okay.
today. We sorted out today.
Okay.
Next show
So
we
is
got, Cal's
Maisie
gonna be on there.
is Maisie coming on that one the week after?
Well, Nazy's coming on our next show. So see what I'm thinking of then because we're playing you next week, ain't we? Next week Tuesday.
Yeah. We'll do a couple of previews for that, man.
Yeah, we'll do a proof for that still. But I'm thinking in the day sort of like of moving it to the following week or probably have it on a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday. I might just have it on Wednesday. I'll see what happens.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, man.
Yeah, we do that still. You know what I mean?
Even do 2 shows in 1 week.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, Luca. Yeah, man. Yo, Luca. Please get your questions in. Yeah, see this one here. Anfield, come for Liverpool tough man. Anfield, Uncle Roz, come on, brother. You can't paint American owners with the broad brush. Owners like Roman was levels. Was it?
Can't paint
Evil
Americans under the broad brush.
Yeah,
Owners like
unicorn.
Roman was a unicorn, but he put evil in brackets. Yeah, he
Oh,
was evil.
evil. Yeah,
With the
evil. Sorry.
mafia. Roman was
Yeah.
a mafia, bruv. So is the Saudi owners, bruv. Big up Saudi.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say.
I'm a mafia myself, man.
What I'm trying to say in that is that like most of them like the right. America is a capitalist society. You know what I mean? There's no harm in it. There's no disrespect in it. It's just the way the society is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. England at the day is a capitalist society in some sort of way, but not as bad because obviously not as big. You know what I mean? But a lot of these billionaires and think that like you got an American event, right? Obviously they're money driven. So in that case, in that sense, what's going to happen at the end of the day is I'd say if you got something at the end of the day that's bringing you in money and bringing you loads of money and stuff, yeah, right? You're not going to want to get rid of it, especially at the end of the day if you're in a society that's motivated by money. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There's no sort of like harm in saying it. There's no like kind of direct. When you look at the American society, they're motivated by money.
Yeah, but England's becoming like the American society.
Yeah, but that's saying England
was the war. You know, the war's what made England what it is. And slowly that togetherness is gone after the EU thing. It's becoming so capitalist, cost of living, tax, everything's different now. Would you swap?
No, it's true.
No,
it's true. It's like...
I'll go back to Afro Thunder, bro. Yes, I would swap Klopp for Potter. That's not even a question. The real question is, would he swap Klopp for Klopp? Like Klopp for Potter? I'm getting
not having that. Not having that.
No swapsies there. What do you mean?
Forget that, Chris. Forget that one.
No,
forget that one.
No Liverpool.
Mark A to the boot that says big up Rodz. Liverpool tough man says he's not really happy with the moment. Come on, man, that is a wild statement. You asked about any big name Americans, but a load over Middle East oil money replaced American with Middle Eastern and tell me your answer, Christian.
No, that was for Salah, you know. That was for Salah because he's the one getting the Arab takeover. But I don't know, man. That's a whole nother.
No, but the things about the thing, it's not wild and thing that it's not like it's not with any shade. It's just how the society is. Do you know what I mean? Just how the society is and everything that, and they're not going to want to get rid of a cash cow. Our owners are like that. They're not going to get rid of a cash cow. You see what it is with our owners and everything. Our owners, I speak for our owners. They make extensive amount of money, yeah, and like, you know, they make money and they're putting little into the actual team. When you look at Man United and think that they are putting a lot into the team, they're making money, put a lot into the team. So they're not going to want to get rid of a good thing. They're going to want to get rid of that. You know what I mean? They're going to want to keep it as long as they want to keep it. In fact, right now, is that a bad thing with them? It depends how you look at it. Is it a good thing with them? Depends how you look at it again. Do you know what I mean? But it's not no shade or anything on American people still. right?
Yeah, but
It's
I
just the
just
way
think about all the polls online, like, and the whole flipping consensus was basically like everyone wanted Arab owners. I'm thinking like a lot of non-Man United fans voted in that poll. It was 90% on all of them, 88. It's like they all just want them. That's our owners. No one wants Ratcliffe. No one wants a capitalist. No one wants a company. You know, like Levi. Levi works with that Enid group. You know, Botobo works
yeah.
clearly. You know, the FSG alone is just that they don't. We no one wants that for some reason. They just want a man that owns something, and they say his name like we say Roman. They want to say whatever his name is. What's his name? Sheikh Zayed? I don't even know. I forgot. It's always in the group. What's his name? I've got it in my head. Let me find it, man. You know the one? I was like, who's the Sheikh that's taking over, bro? I can't remember. I forgot. He was the same one that they were the same people that wanted you.
Oh yeah.
That same group.
Yeah. Is it DIC?
No, I don't know. Actually, I don't know the name of the group, but they just keep like every video I see just names him, like the royal family. I don't even know. Sheikh,
And
so
Tom,
just call him the Sheikh.
and Tom Izzy says, morning Roz and the panel, big up the chat as
Big
well.
up, big up.
Footballing hairstylist, it says, was it face
Turquoise covering eyes.
turquoise covering the eyes?
That don't come through.
Big up.
I'll take you the link, bro, if you want to jump on. And this guy is a proper Man United supporter from New York. Got a banging channel, Football Power Hour. Check it out.
Oh yeah, if he wants to come on quick, he can come on. Yeah.
I don't want as well, but I don't know. Maybe he's busy.
Okay. Question for both. How's the so-called big teams break down low blocks in the game?
Well, you know, we were low block specialists, and I think about the few games that Chelsea were beating soundly in, yeah. And for me, it was when they're taking long shots and pressuring the keeper. Because when you got someone that takes long shots, you know, they can't really defend against that low block team. The only other way is to kind of suck them forward, like, you know, like almost like a vacuum. Just you have to play out in the midfield and bring the defense forward. But to be honest, if you're playing full low block and you've got the good defenders that stick to it, there is no way to break it down. Like the biggest beating I felt we got last season was the Real Madrid one, where I was like, what happened when they beat us? And that was all Mendy's fault. Long shots, pass backs, pressuring Mendy. That was all it was, pressuring the goalkeeper. Like that seems to be the only way. If a goalkeeper's having a bad day, but if you play low block properly, you're gonna get what we got in the finals twice with you, man, which was 0-0 twice, bro. You guys played as well. Second, you guys didn't even try to score really. You just knew you could beat us in penalties because you've done it before.
I think it's thing though, isn't it? It's like wing play.
Last season.
Liverpool tough, man. Liverpool tough, man. He's still down there. Big up Football Powerhouse. If you want to jump in, you can jump in. Yeah, Tom Izzy, and I think that question for OG is the hosting of, was it?
Yeah, Ramadan. They're doing iftar in Stamford Bridge. It's not only held during. No, it's not. It's not only held during matches. They do it They're doing it rotating days, but they're gonna stop doing it when they come back for football, and they're gonna do some every now and then. They're gonna announce random days they're gonna do it on. So it's scattered throughout the month, but they're doing iftar, like they're feeding people in Hampshire and Fulham basically that come to the stadium. They get to go inside the stadium and eat, bruv. Like, and they get to pray and all that. Isn't that like proper? That's just so sick, man. I can't believe how woke Chelsea is.
Well, what's this one? Ravi says, question, does Saka deserve 300k a week from what he's been going around? Rob.
Do you know why? I wouldn't.
Nah, he don't deserve 300k a week.
It's just the down tooling. Every time, I don't know if it's purposely, mentally, or just luck, but these players, the young brothers signed a contract, and they just down tool of it. So what happened? You know, I could name a whole list, like there's Chelsea players, you know, there's other players like Dele Alli and whatnot, and then flipping Saka might just join that club. I mean, when I saw someone uploaded, you know, when you go to like a website, there's bare websites that show how much they rate you, match ratings, innit? All of Saka's match ratings were like 7, 8, 9. I was like, okay, he's had a good season. The other ones.
Yeah. So, Liverpool tough man says, I was regarding your one successful American football statement. Name a
Oh,
big name Middle Eastern footballer, and Egypt, Morocco, etc. are in the Africa, not the Middle East. Okay.
yeah, it's a weird one, man, because obviously we're African, but at the same time, like obviously we got we speak Arabic, we've got Arab in us, so I don't want to say we're well cultured and try to jump in, but we're just accepted in both. And Mo Salah's more Arab because the way Egypt is very, it's like that's it. After you cross Egypt, you're in Arabia, and they consider Egyptian very because Egypt's mixed. There's a lot of religions, a lot of different people, Nubians, Arabs. The Arab Egyptians, like Mo Salah, like he's everywhere in Middle East world. He's on every advert. He's on billboards all over the place, all over the gaff, back on every brother's shirt. As Saudi, Jordan, Qatar, Morocco as well, because the ones that are Arab, obviously, they like him more. It's like even you, like if you saw a brother your color, you're like, yeah, this is. Especially you just spoke about it with was not Paul Ince, what was the other guy, Barnes. You know what I'm saying? You just relate to certain people, and the whole Arabian continent, they feel like Salah's one of theirs. They feel like Salah's one of theirs, but. Yeah, man. There's not many successful ones from pure Arabia. If you take away the African
No,
Arabia, there's not really successful ones. That very rare.
no, but I was thinking that name, obviously with that statement, I was saying it and they so like there's not any much successful footballers that they make footballers household names and such, yeah. And I think in the day when it comes to the Saudis and that, I think they get it more than what the Americans do. I'm not saying all Americans like that, but they get it more than what the Americans do.
Yeah, in
Because
America, there's
most
too
of
much
them,
competition.
yeah,
They're
but most
watching
of
NBA and NFL and NH, and they're watching all this stuff. Like I like it as well. There's so much stuff to watch in America when football is
yeah,
on. You know what I mean?
you checking them. Most of these American owners and everything, we can't sort of like, we can't get away with it from it. Is that most of the American owners they don't really know anything about football. They don't really know anything about it. I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way, but they don't. FSG don't know anything really about football. Yeah, you right. The Man United guys and everything that people, the Glazers don't really know anything about football. Even Todd Burley at the day, Burley to a certain extent don't really know much about football. He's getting an
Not
education as he
much.
goes along.
Not much. At least he grew up in London to a degree in his whatever university
Yeah,
he
but that's what
worked
I'm saying.
in.
Like
He wasn't really like
yeah, that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. He's getting an education as he goes along. So it's not like a bad thing, this thing. It's just something in day that's all right. For instance, there are things that each country know about certain things. You know what I mean? You understand? And it's just that
Yeah.
so like we probably don't know a lot about sort of like baseball. We don't know anything about baseball. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So for English guy and
I
they
know
that
what
has
you're
their
saying,
money
man.
that fit that right, when it's a baseball, right, the person that supports that specific team that he's bought and for that right, he's gonna the club sorry that he's bought. The person one of the fans gonna think, well, you know what, he don't know nothing about baseball.
The
Why are we
second he
getting
does
him?
bad, the
You
second he
know what I
does
mean?
bad, yeah, innit?
Yeah. So it's a sort of it's not like a disrespect thing. It's just sort of like what is obvious to people and still. Ravi says, OG thoughts on Todd. Does he take what it means to
Fine,
support
seriously,
Chelsea for
bro.
fans seriously?
You know what? Yeah, Abramovich would have never responded to any Twitters or nothing like that. But this bro
Yeah.
here, he's on it. He's apologizing for the Apple TV crap they done. They admitted Ray Wilkins' name in the Apple TV. What's it called? Tad Lasso. I've watched 2 seasons of that. Season 3 is out. It's a banging show. But Apple TV, they charge you too much.
That's funny. I'll be watching that, Don't tell me any
Yeah,
more
yeah.
about it, but I'll be
That's
watching it.
jokes, bro. Tad Lasso is
It's
jokes, bro.
fucking
I love
jokes.
it. Richmond FC.
I
I'm
got
like,
the second season and for that,
Richmond.
so don't tell me any more about it. So
Yeah. Now UAE football thing he said for UAE, they love football. When I was in Dubai, they love football. If you tell them they suck, they get angry. Like they actually think they have a good team. They're like, we're going to win the Asian Cup, we're going to World Cup. Yeah, good luck, brother. But they love football in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all them places there, man.
they're crazy over it. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, they may not have like an outstanding star or whatever, but what it isn't they sleep, eat, drink football.
Proper.
They just love it. They just
oh,
proper
do they
love
like
it.
you live near Stamford Bridge? I was like, yeah, man's from Fulham. Like I was like,
Yes.
Fulham's the end, bruv. It's dusty, fam. But they made it seem like, oh my days, you're in Stamford Bridge. Oh, I was like, right, Fulham Broadway, not all that, fam. You know the ones. I love the respect.
Yeah.
Though.
It's a bag of respect still. Right. So. We are going to end the show now. It's been a great show. We had a great guest on, and I think that we got through all your comments. Before you leave, make sure you hit the. Let me see what. Can you check on the poll for me? Can you check the poll for me?
Okay, 1 second.
Let me check the poll for me.
There you guys go. We've got 40 votes. It's a 90-10 poll. 90 of them said yes. I mean, you don't really ask a question, but next time put a question in like, will Jude Bellingham become as good as Gerrard?
I will next time. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. I would.
Yeah, like, but I want to see what they say about Jude Bellingham and Gerrard after that little convo they had the other day. I like that. I'm not gonna lie. You're way ahead of me, mate. You already got your 6-pack. Hey, you rated him athletically.
Hey, tell me. So listen, I should be back on there tomorrow with the weekend football prediction show. Should be back on it tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get a show together on Thursday. I'm trying to do like a preview for the Man City game, and that's going to be with Patrick. Trying to get one with Patrick still.
Nice.
And then someone said, George G said, big up.
Big up, man.
One last thing. I might not know a lot about fish and chips, but as long as I put the right people in place, I could get rock. Was it rock or
Soul flights you run for their money, respectively.
Yeah,
they're banging, man.
Yeah,
All of them from Deliveroo. That's bagging food there.
Yeah, but that's different though, isn't it? That's different though, isn't it? It's different. Fish and chips, and then fish and chips.
Man. He just put the right people down. He just went on his holidays.
Yeah, but the thing is about the thing that it's just like it's just sometimes in the day, sort of like it helps on the day when person think because you know what, they put the right person in the week, but you can say over the years on the day he has overspent on sort of like players and got in the most players and everything that, and just like don't know what to do with them and stuff. You know what I mean? Question and thoughts in the favorite footy song and chant. What's your one?
I like the Chelsea one. Though. Chelsea. Yes, as shit as it is, but also obviously like blue is the color. Chelsea is the team. I'm not gonna sing it all, but yeah, man.
You might say got my songs, don't you? Yeah, you might say got my songs. The best one I like, is when he had that song about Luis Garcia. You got Luis Garcia, he drinks sangria,
I remember that. I hated that because he scored against that goal. The Champions League.
Our latest one, they had one called. They had one. Do you remember that player Harry Kuehl?
Of course, man. Down under.
Right.
I watched his sick guy.
He used to get. The song was called Harry Kuehl. Come on, Harry Kuehl.
Yeah, I like that song. I'm not gonna lie.
My latest one is like my latest one is Ole Ole Ole. That's my latest one. Ole Ole Ole.
They love that.
No, because that thing, we conquered all of Europe. We won the fucking odds. That one.
Top of the league, having a laugh. Top of the league, yeah, we're having a laugh. Arsenal don't sing that. I'm like, why do they not sing that? They're not certain. But yeah, man, how can
they got one sleep with it? They got one for sleep with it. Sleep on it.
No way. They made one for him already.
Yeah, they have.
Future. I used to go past Southall all the time, bro. All the time. They had the first Helen McDonald's, but they shut it down. They look KFC.
I used to go through the road down there.
Oh yeah, bro. They had the 207 and 607, Bear Shaheen and Kebabs. Now Southall's the one, man. But obviously, I haven't been to that part of UB for time, man. But yeah, man, let's sign out on that, man. Big up Southall. Go there for the best curry and cheap gold.
Listen, guys. So I'll see you guys tomorrow on Thursday with Friday and the weekend. Peace out, guys. Thank you for joining me. Big up, Chelsea OG.
Big up, man.
Big up Sane, our guest, everything that right. Big up the chat, and I'll catch you guys soon. All I say is peace and love and respect. You know how it goes. Love and respect each and every time. We put the picture up. Love and respect each and every time.
Nice.
Big up my brother. Big up.
Man.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm out anyway, man. I've got to go munch and whatnot.
Yeah. You're always eating, man. What's wrong with you?